Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Resident Alien Season 1, Episode 9. Welcome, aliens. Welcome, aliens. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, what YouTube does, takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see up there, hit that subscribe button and also the like button and the share button if you can as well. Also, if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. No tier saver on the Patreon. Wait until I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm close, but I keep going forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. So I've got 20 more subscribers to go. Then I hit 1,000, and then I'll start putting stuff up there. Also, I have the links to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. With that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch the episode, and you can come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. So, Harry survives. Yes, he had his leg chopped off by Dan, Asta's dad, and survived, and is back to looking human again. Although his leg is decidedly not. It's actually growing back, and we get a tentacle out, and he explains to Asta that his people are descended from octopus as well, or octopi. And yeah, so they're related. That's why we saw the octopus in the last episode and talking to him and all that stuff. So yeah, it was pretty funny actually, that leg lifting, grabbing a piece of bacon and handing it to him and whatnot. Also disgusting too at the same time. But yeah, it and of course his radio that Asta had brought back with him as well, because he was out cold at that point, isn't working. It's dark, and he starts looking at it and finds out that it's broken. It's got a little piece that's missing that needs to be repaired. And the only way he can do it is if he gets a piece of alien technology and realizes that he needs to find someone who's been abducted by aliens, who's had a piece of implanted alien technology piece into them. And so he decides to go to an alien convention. And Asta decides to drive him because he's been shooting at morphine. So yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff here. In the meantime, Darcy is trying to play down how much of a hero she was by saving everybody's lives up on the crevasse, on the glacier there. And Jay at one point is just kind of, she's going to write a paper on her, and she's not really into it, and kind of shitting on Darcy at some point. And then when Darcy basically says, what the fuck happened up on the mountain there, up on the glacier, she's like, oh shit, everyone could have died. You actually are a hero, and kind of turn stuff around. So we get a little bit of the small town stuff that's playing on in here too. Yeah. So getting the town stuff out of the way. Also, we got, Deputy Baker out there who's doing a little karaoke and starts singing Wind Beneath My Wings. And Sheriff Thompson comes in and starts the duet with her because he wants her to come back as a sheriff, as the deputy, because she was the one that cracked the case. Sheriff Thompson actually has arrested the doctor who died. He arrests his wife because Judy Cooper, excuse me, not Judy Cooper. Judy is somebody else there. I'm just blanking on her name all of a sudden now. So he actually arrests the wife of the doctor who died because she's a hairstylist who also has Botox. She's been doing Botox injections, things like that. So she has access to botulism, And Deputy Baker's theory is that whoever had botulism put it into the insulin that the doctor had inoculated himself or gave himself a shot with, and therefore poisoned himself. Yeah. So I really don't think that's going to be the case. And I'm pretty sure that Sheriff Thompson's going to be, there's going to be consequence to be had. Anyway, yeah, he ends up giving the badge back to Deputy Baker, and she ends up accepting. So at the convention, of course, Harry does find his transmitter that he needs to find, and it's in the guise of the alien hunter, and it's played by Terry O'Quinn. Terry O'Quinn, who is very well known to those of us in genre. He's been in every movie known to mankind as well. But yeah, Terry O'Quinn, he has an implant in him. He's also hunting Harry at one point, and Harry just turns the tables and grabs him. And the alien hunter, begs him not to take it out, and he's like, "They're done with you already, dude. They just have it in you to track you. That's it." And it was the Greys who did it. It wasn't us. That was actually one of the funny things too. Him going through the convention with Asta, and people are talking about aliens, and the Greys are assholes, of course. The Avians are really nice people. There's another group that one of them owes him money, and yeah, I thought that was actually kind of funny. They're going through it. So he gets his little piece that he needs in order to complete his radio, and leaves. And in the meantime, while all this is happening, of course, we've got Max's mom and dad, the mayor, have invited over the two government agents, which they don't know are government agents, for a couples night or a couples thing going on there. And yeah, that whole thing devolves fairly quickly. And yeah, of course, Max's little piece of the alien ship ends up getting stolen. He's aware of it because, being the smart little fucker that he is, he actually has a camera set up in his bedroom and finds this out. Raymond says, "I still think she's original Harry's mother, and they were in cahoots to kill Sam, possibly because he may be an informant." I don't think it's that detailed, Raymond. Yeah, that's going like Murder, She Wrote and stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna go that far. It's gonna be something fairly simple with this show. I'm almost sure of it. Yeah, but so Max knows now that his little piece has been stolen and that the government is there. And also earlier he had been talking to Harry along with Sahar, and Sahar actually tells Harry, "Oh, they took your ship. That's why you need the radio in order to call back home. And the government has it, the Men in Black," and yeah, all of that stuff. So going back to Darcy and Judy talk a little bit, and Darcy's saying about how Asta and Harry are kind of blowing them off, even though she saved their lives. And she goes, "I keep calling her, but nothing's happening." And Judy basically says, "Well, maybe she's dead," and kind of going off on the deep end of things, and sending, of course, Darcy over to Harry's place to find out what's going on. And she breaks in, and for some reason decides to break open the freezer that's down there. And she looks at first and doesn't see anything, and then decides to go back and dig a little deeper into the chest and finds the original Harry's dead body. And that's where we leave off on the episode. Good episode. We're moving the story along a bit, and we just need, we're coming up now on the finale, the season finale, which is going to be next week. And I'm wondering how they're going to wrap up some of this stuff, because his radio is still, his radio, if you will, is still at the house. Now the cops are going to be there, of course. There's going to be some questions, obviously, because he's missing a foot. So that foot was in the lake. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of questions now at this point. Raymond says it's definitely dun dun. Yeah, I know. It really is. But I don't think it's going to go that far. Applecrow says, I think it was just a plot for the sheriff and deputy to have an arc with and Bond. Yeah, I believe you on that. I agree with you on that. Applecrow says, I felt like her digging through the freezer was a bit of a... Yeah, that was... It was why she decided to open up the freezer in the first place. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it just seemed kind of weird that she broke into the place looking for Asta, and instead of going upstairs to go and see if she's up there, instead she well, she is thinking that maybe Asta's dead, so that could be her reasoning behind this, is that she's looking to see if Asta is, in the freezer dead, and instead, of course, finds Harry's body. Yeah. Yeah, freezers are pretty common, especially, Midwest and out further east. I mean, here on the West Coast, not so much, but it depends. I mean, depends on where you are. Yeah, if you're out in the boonies here on the West Coast, sure, you'll find them as well. Applegrow says, even it being locked, isn't that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cabin out in the woods. Yeah, of course you'll lock it. You don't want somebody to break into your cabin and steal your, venison or whatnot out of there. So yeah, good episode. It was fun. There was a line that I thought was kind of funny. So Judy was talking about how they shared a boyfriend, how Darcy and her shared a boyfriend in high school. And she goes, you were fucking him behind my back. And Judy says, well, what do you want me to do? I grabbed his dick and he liked it. And then when she said, when I grabbed his dick, it was kind of funny. SyFy decided to mute out dick when she said it. But in the captions, the closed captions, they left it in. I just thought it was kind of a weird thing that, they muted out dick in the dialogue, like the spoken dialogue, but then kept it in the captions, considering that the movie that they had right before it, London Has Fallen, somebody says fuck, like probably about 20 minutes before this show even aired. And that wasn't muted at all. So I was like, what are you doing, SyFy? The word was dick that you were searching for. It's also the name of a person. Dick. Yeah. But I thought that was actually kind of funny. And then, of course, I almost forgot to mention, oh my God, the Giorgio Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens makes an appearance, a guest appearance in this as well. And he's hiding out Harry while, Harry's hiding from the alien hunter. And Harry decides to eat all of his fruit flowers, except, of course, the honeydew, because they taste like an old woman's perfume. So he leaves them for Giorgio. Oh my God. And Giorgio looked not as stoned as he normally does on his show. So I'm kind of surprised. Applecrow says, I have to wonder, though, if this means Darcy is a goner now and how they're going to reconcile the very dark parts of Harry with the comedy aspect. That's a good question. It could end up being that Harry, the one that's in the freezer, is actually the murderer of the doctor. And this was set up a while back. And because he murdered the murderer, because our alien, has that's his real name, by the way. That's what his friends call him. If he murdered the murderer, then maybe the town will cover for him at this point and just go, you know what? He's the new Harry, and just leave it at that. Because at this point, everyone's going to know, right? So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen right there. Because why else? I mean, yeah, I know that Harry, the human Harry, was actually up there getting away from his ex-wife, who he was divorcing. But why would he be? Yeah, it just, there's something weird going on. No, you said that actually the wife was in on it as well, but I don't think the wife is in on it at all, Raymond. I think the wife is out of the equation. Harry, on the other hand, the human Harry, yes, I agree with you on that part. He could actually be part of that. He could. I'm saying he worked alone at this point. And it could have been drugs. It could have been, I don't know. Well, remember, actually, now come to think of it, Harry's wife, when she came in, or ex-wife, if you will, said that there were some men that showed up at the door looking for him. And I'm wondering if he was working with the doctor in order to get prescription drugs. And that prescription pad that was missing was not taken by Asta's ex-husband, but was given to him by the doctor. And our good doctor is not as squeaky clean as we thought he was, the one who's dead. The town doctor, I should say. I can't remember his name now at this point. It's gone too far. But yeah, I'm thinking that's where we're at on this one. I'm just kind of thinking it through. And now it's just kind of bothering me because, whatnot. I can never remember what the fuck his name is. Excuse me. All right, let me see here. I'm just taking a quick peek while we're on, Sam Hodges. There we go. Dr. Hodges. So, yeah, Dr. Hodges, and Abigail Hodges is his wife. So, Dr. Hodges is, I'm fairly sure, was in on something with human Harry, and something went bad, and human Harry had to kill Sam, and Abigail is tied up collateral damage because she was already having an affair, but it had nothing to do with her murdering Sam Hodges. Yeah. There we go. Raymond says that he was at the art auction for summer. Yeah, he was at the art auction because he happened to be in New York. And they were making the deal for, drugs and stuff like that, for the prescription pads and all that stuff. The prescription pads have to play into this at some point too. That's what I'm thinking. Apricot says, well, we'll see how well they tie things up. I'm sure one of these threads will probably be a cliffhanger for, yeah, of course. It's going to be the government agent stuff. That's going to be the cliffhanger for next season. And also, most likely, his people are going to come looking for him. His people. Yeah. Well, because Asta lived in New York too, right? Well, they really didn't. I don't know if their time overlapped there. So, who knows, Raymond? We could all be wrong, but we'll see how it is. I'm fairly sure they're going to go more simple than anything else and not go as complex. But then again, they could just pull a fast one and do a really complex thing and then have Harry narrate how ridiculous it is over the whole thing. And why didn't I see it the first place? And you'll go through and do it, and they'll have the little montage of it, which will be funny as well. And that would be a good way of, ending out the season. But yeah. All right. So, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow will be another episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Saturday will be Saturday Morning Blast Off, or take the genre news of the weekend, any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. And hopefully it'll be on time this time because I'm getting my second dose of the vaccine on Saturday. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be on time so I can go and do my other stuff. Sunday is going to be Invincible episodes 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be happening. So that's on Amazon Prime, by the way, is Invincible. It's animated, and each episode is an hour long. Monday I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I don't know what I'm doing as of yet. I'll figure something out. Depends on how I feel after the shot and everything. So we'll see how things go. Wednesday I'll be off, and then of course we roll back around to Thursday, and it'll be the season finale of Resident Alien. I almost said Resident Evil again. See, it's kind of ingrained in me. So, thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. If you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, hit that bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there, and all the links to my social media are up there as well. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, the alien hunter may be after you, and he's got 100,000 volts of electricity running through that cattle prod of his that he was wearing on his hip. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, and wear those masks. And remember, get those vaccines if you can get an appointment. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.